we're already talking about hurricane season?
Not yet. We've got some time. We've got a little bit of time.
Well, in the meantime, why don't we just get hit with some severe weather over and over again?
But again, you know, we've had several, again, this is kind of week 4 of a heightened risk of severe weather. And thankfully, we have not seen anything severe as the storms are moving into the North Shore. Really, it's just been heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, yes. Kind of a pretty intense light show. We've had parts of the state that saw a decent amount of rainfall, and we are under a flood watch until tomorrow morning, just because of the heavy rains that are now moving through. And thankfully, we are not seeing some of the rainfall rates that would have likely exceeded 3+ inches over maybe a slightly larger area. And so far, the rainfall totals that we're getting in, and again, this is all estimates based on radar, are not that high. A good soaking rain, but we have been dry. We're in a drought, and we need this kind of rainfall. If this line were just to continue to move, we would be in good shape through the night, and it is moving very quickly. I was mentioning the fact that kind of at the mid levels of the atmosphere, the winds are almost now paralleling this line of rainfall, which is good and bad. Good, as they're paralleling the front, you're not getting that change in wind direction with height as you increase in height in the atmosphere, so you don't get any rotation. So the severe threat is pretty limited, but bad because when it parallels the front, it does tend to slow the front down. We're not seeing that now, and hopefully that is not the case. But notice this line. This is an hour time lapse. It goes from about Kentwood all the way past Bogalusa into Pearl River County. So this line is moving very rapidly. And notice already in Kentwood, in just about an hour, you had the intense rainfall to now just some light showers. It's weakening quickly behind the leading edge of some of the heavies of the rainfall. And again, we were looking at some of the rainfall rates that we're getting in from that initial line. And so far, we have not seen anything that we can't normally handle. Looking at some of the higher locations, and again, these are fairly isolated, 2.23 inches per hour. There's another little bullseye here right in Pearl River County, 2.78 inches per hour. Again, that we can handle. So looking at some of the rainfall totals, and this says a 48-hour rainfall total, but it's basically what we've seen so far today. And this has all been in terms of the higher amounts. 4 inches of rainfall, but consider we did have some heavy rain on the North Shore yesterday, and so some of these totals are also from the rains that we saw yesterday. So 2 to 4 inches, that is not all from what we saw today. That's today and yesterday's rainfall totals. And then on the South Shore, River Parish is beginning to see some of those heavier showers, but the main line is still just to your north, and it is moving in very, very quickly. So timing it out, I kind of adjusted our computer model a little bit to better represent where the rainfall is right now. And as we put this into motion, by midnight, we should already see some of the heavier, the heavier of the rain into the metro area and still pushing down to the south. By about 1:30, the heaviest should be out of the city and most of the Mississippi coast, maybe the heaviest in the Mississippi Sound and down the bayou and down toward the coastline. And probably by about 3 a.m., most of us will be drying out. So certainly this is going to continue for the next few hours, but as we watch that line already in Kentwood, the rainfall rates have come down quite a bit. And so overall, it's looking like 1 to 3 inches over kind of a widespread area. Certainly some isolated heavier amounts, but I think that's going to be fairly limited. I turned our tower camera that's here on Rampart toward the north to watch some of the lightning that is off in the distance. You're getting the lightning show up on the North Shore, and that is moving south right now. Temperature 75 degrees. We stayed warm today. We're pretty warm right now, but look at the temperatures coming down already in the 60s from Baton Rouge to Macomb, Bogalusa. That is the cold front that'll be sweeping through. So when we wake up tomorrow morning, it will be noticeably cooler and less humid. Dew points falling a bit, but they will continue to drop a little bit quicker once the front moves on through. And notice right along the front, winds have started to settle, so they're not going to be quite as windy. As a matter of fact, just a little bit of a breeze during the day tomorrow, not nearly as strong. And the reason we're seeing this is the main energy lifting away from us, and now in the mid-levels, you can kind of watch us on water vapor, we're starting to see almost a westerly wind. So we're not getting that rotation in the atmosphere, or wind shear, I should say, in the atmosphere, that would allow this to go severe. So while we do have a tornado watch in effect for the North Shore and Mississippi counties, so far what I'm seeing does not look like that is really going to be our threat. The main threat would be from some isolated flooding, and I don't think that's even going to be a big deal. Some low-lying areas, some minor street flooding, some of the low-lying ditches, perhaps. And that, again, will be wrapping up early tomorrow morning. Most of us waking up will be dry, and the rest of the day, Thursday, looking very nice. Then we can't just enjoy a dry day. So we'll have a few isolated showers, but most of us will remain dry for Good Friday and through the Easter weekend. Through Saturday and Sunday, high temperatures back into the 80s and a little more humid.